You ready to talk some movies, Brennan?
Yeah, okay.
Well, let's go! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth!
Oh yeah! You know what that sound is, right?
Drive time special.
Indeed it is. Oh my god. Okay. Hey, these things never go off without something happening.
Right.
So, yeah. This is where Brennan and I discuss things on the way to the theater, watch the movie, and then give our spoilery first thoughts on it.
Raw.
Raw. What are we watching this time, Brennan?
We're watching Evil Dead Rise.
Oh boy. Alright, so, normally we do 15 minutes because that's how long it used to take us when we first started these. I live much closer now, but there's a lot to get through, so it might be a little bit longer. We'll see.
We're not limiting ourselves, is what we're saying.
Correct. So, I guess we should start from the beginning. The Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead movie. It was the second one I actually saw. I saw Evil Dead 2 first. I had you watch them in chronological order.
Yeah.
Because I'm no crap father.
Right.
Let's talk about that one.
Evil Dead, I like it. I mean, a lot of people like it. It's really good.
Yeah, and the first time I watched it, it was on a very, very copied a gazillion times VHS in a weird house. Somebody had it, and so it wasn't that good quality-wise.
Oh,
but
no.
And I had already seen Evil Dead 2, so I felt kind of jaded on it, and I just kind of wasn't that big of a fan for a long time. But honestly, the more I watch it in like the last, I don't know, 15 years or so, I have grown to just love it. There's so much good with it, and so many things that just hadn't been done before as far as camera work and things like that. It still feels very innovative.
Totally.
For knowing that they had a very micro budget for it. And honestly, I'd have to say, what gets me about it is the lack of quality in the effects. I think that's what makes it upsetting. That's the best way I can describe it.
It's a bit more uncanny.
Because, yeah, it makes me feel really uncomfortable to see just, I don't know, just everything. It's just very visceral.
Yeah, the direction in it is outstanding. I mean, it invented the whole, like, demon cam thing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we're gonna, like, chase people. What an amazing way to build tension, you know, and amp up this story.
And it works.
It works great. I mean, obviously it works great because we've seen it in so many things after it.
And it's so just batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just wish I had been able to see it first, and you know, it probably would have not changed my opinion on it a whole lot in the end. But man, like, especially back when it came out, that would have been nuts.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, there's no... It's a classic for a reason.
Right. Honestly, the best way to describe it is just by watching it. Just like go watch it.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a great movie.
And it makes you feel like you're going crazy. And also, during that time, I mean, I know everybody's said everything about these movies. That's kind of why I'm comfortable doing this drive time with it. But at the time, though, it was all Final Girl stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part. And they really, to have Ash, who was just kind of a nobody, while you're watching the movie, ends up becoming the survivor. Cool move.
Good twist. Subvert the expectations.
Absolutely. Super cool. A classic.
And I like how it just ramps up like the weirdness too.
Oh,
the
yeah.
more you get into the movie. By the end, that's when it really gets its like charm. It's
Right.
real.
And once it kind of becomes the Ash only
Yeah, the Ash show.
movie, that's where it gets bonkers.
Yeah.
And that's a great segue into Evil Dead 2.
Right.
Because that's how that movie basically starts off. Is, it's mostly the Ash show for a good chunk of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I made all my kids watch Evil Dead 2 at a very young age.
Yes.
I won't discuss what age. I could probably still get some type of child protective services called on me for it, but I don't know. I figure it's these movies tend to skew more comical, I guess, but also terrifying. And Evil Dead 2 is not an exception.
No.
I saw this first. It was on HBO, and I didn't know what it was. And honestly, I was kind of scared watching it. And this is like me, at 13, 14 years old, because it was so unpredictable. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen next in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was definitely the movie that I went around and I made everybody watch. I was like, you have to see this movie. Like, you like movies, scary movies, this is it. Because, and the comedy's good in it, too.
Super funny. Yeah. Laugh out loud funny.
Yeah. Very, what do they call it? The splat stick?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And it is.
It is.
It is. I mean, it's a fantastic movie. The effects are great in it. Just even more insanity.
Yeah, it really is just the first Evil Dead, but
Redone,
bigger budget, more
Go
time.
look it up. We don't have time to discuss that.
Yeah.
But odds are, if you're listening, you probably already know.
Yeah.
But yeah, excellent movie. I don't know what else we could possibly say about it. Another classic.
Absolutely. Army of Darkness?
I saw that in the theater, and I had to walk home afterwards, and it was a long walk. And let me tell you, I was disappointed. I was so excited for it, and it let me down. And don't get me wrong, I've watched that movie a lot. A lot. And to be honest, I bought it on Blu-ray probably 6 or 7 years ago. Still have not put it in.
Yeah, that's the Evil Dead movie I have not seen in the longest time, I think. It's been a while since I've seen Army of Darkness.
Well, mostly because I just don't watch it. I never have it on. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing, though, and I know I have a very controversial opinion on this, but I think it's fine. It just skewed way too comedy heavy for me, and I had beef with that.
I think it's fine on its own, but off the tails of Evil Dead 2, when you get to Army of Darkness, it is definitely too big of a tone switch.
It really is. And also the way that it picks up, because of the time travel at the end of Evil Dead 2, where the knights, it's depicts what's in the book, where the knights are worshiping him, praising him.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of Army of Darkness, they just didn't, like, they take him captive and they push him around and treat him like a jerk. And I was like, wait, that's not how the other movie ended. And I guess, like, you can look at it from the weird time loop perspective, where Ash is kind of always in this perpetual loop of he has to go back in time, and it's never going to play out the same every time. What else do you have to say about it, Brennan?
I like the alternate ending where he wakes up in where he goes back to the future and the entire world is destroyed.
Yeah, that is pretty fun.
I'm glad they didn't include it, but it's pretty fun.
It is.
And also the visual effects still are good in that movie.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's good jokes in it.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's great scenes in it. It just...
Ooh, honestly, biggest beef with it,
Yeah.
Ash losing that chainsaw arm. And getting just the lame metal arm, I thought that was such a downgrade.
It is a downgrade. And it's where Ash really starts, it skews more into the absurd. And it's very much carried on into the TV show, Ash versus the Evil Dead. And, because we have to bring up the show.
Right.
And I finished watching the entire series. Did you ever?
I did not know, but I watched the first season, I want to say. I think just the first season.
Yeah. And it's very more splatstick orientated. The stories just never always clicked with me. And they always just said that they were just evil. They just summarized it like that all the time. And I just kind of thought it sounded cheap. But that show ended on a great ending too, which unfortunately never got carried on in any way, shape, or form, because he ended up being in the future, and it was like a post-apocalyptic world, and his car was all like Mad Maxed out. Super cool.
Huh.
But it's still a fun program though, not gonna lie. I still had a lot of fun with it. But I suppose we should get to talking about 2013's
Most relevant
Evil Dead.
one for this movie.
Yeah.
Thought it was fine. I didn't really care much for it.
I was pretty hyped for it when it came out, and all the trailers and stuff really had me excited. And I watched it, and yeah, it's good. It's just, the Sith eyes were kind of a distraction for me. And I see that's carrying over into this new one, which, I don't know. I think I read something like, well, you can't tell, you can get more out of your actors, and they can, look in a direction or whatever. But, yeah, it's really gruesome, and there's still comedy in it, but you have to just be a little more twisted, I guess, to appreciate it. Like all the throwing up the red goop in the mouth and stuff like that. That's fun.
I wish it was more wacky. I think that's the biggest thing that I took away from it was I just wish it was more.
Yeah, I feel it's more in spirit with the original.
Yeah.
Where it's just insanity. And it's just craziness and people losing their minds and being possessed. And I guess we should... Well, let me put it this way, too. That's not how nail guns work. Just say that. But that's my beef with that movie. And also the guy in the glasses. Everything bad that happens to him makes me feel happy. Is that wrong?
No, that's the best part of some horror movies.
Because I don't like that guy. And he's also the whole reason why he's the catalyst for that.
Yeah.
Sure, you can go read through the book and stuff, but man, he said the stuff out loud.
Yeah, why do you got to do that?
Yeah, they already knew it was kind of scary. Plus, the Necronomicon in that one, pretty edgy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's got all the handwritten notes where somebody was writing it in red, and it's I don't know. It just looks too edgy, intentionally.
I think
intense.
it just came off as the feel of it. It just felt on the surface like a generic kind of horror movie from that decade.
Yeah, it does like feel very 2013.
Yeah. Just that like kind of, and that's honestly, I haven't seen much of the trailers for this new one, but I'm worried that it's gonna kind of feel like the Conjuring movies or something like that, you know, because that is what's really big right now in that horror genre.
Yeah, I that's a legitimate,
It's just a
thing to worry about.
yeah, it's just a concern, but like, and it's really because I mean the 2013 Evil Dead was. It looked like a horror movie from that time, but it didn't really feel like it because, yeah, it did have like those more absurd elements to it, and it was more Evil Dead like.
Yeah, and it was brutal too.
Yeah.
Like it was, some of that stuff got kind of hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I enjoyed it. I just watched that one and the original today, so those are very fresh in my mind going into everything. Overall, I liked it though. A lot of blood in it. A lot of blood, especially when it starts raining down. It doesn't always need to make sense, I guess. That's the way all these movies have tended to operate.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I think it was good. I think it was a worthy reboot, remake, sequel, whatever. It does have that weird Ash saying groovy at the post credits.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I would have been fine to not have him in it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, gang. Ash doesn't need to be in all this stuff.
No.
It's okay to have other people involved. And that's, I think, opening up the whole entire concept of it to other people is good. It's alright. Bruce Campbell's cool with it. He's old. He doesn't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he went through a lot of physical hell. And when you watch the show, the TV show, yeah, you could tell, like, man, I wouldn't want to deal with that at his age. So, let the man get some rest.
He made his mark.
Yeah.
Definitely made his mark.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just hope this one's entertaining. It seems pretty short. And I'm cool with that. Nice, breezy, like, under 2 hours is good to have for a movie.
I wonder if they're gonna go into any like Evil Dead lore with it.
Who knows? But yeah, we could talk the Deadites quick, because they're different than anything else out there, because, man, they're just mean.
Yeah.
They're just mean for the sake of being mean. And it's fantastic. I
Evil.
love it.
They're pretty evil.
Yeah, because could they kill you? Yeah, they could just kill you. Because they've, like, once they possess somebody, that's superhuman strength.
Mm-hmm.
They're virtually almost impossible to kill. And I'm stumbling on my words here because I'm parking. But yeah, just the cruelty of them is so entertaining. Because they will say the meanest things just to get under the skin of the people that they're taunting. It's like they just want to taunt them before they kill them or possess them. And it's great. I love it.
Yeah, they're good at it.
I think we got everything covered.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add before we go in?
I'm pretty excited.
Me too. So, that's it for now. When we get back, you're going to get some raw feedback on Evil Dead Rise. Ugh. Well, so we ended up changing our minds at the last minute.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to get in on this whole Beau is Afraid train that's happening right now. And yeah, we fought everybody who didn't like it in the theater. Anybody who opened their damn mouth got one. right to the kisser.
The kid sitting next to me slapped him right in the face. You remember that? Remember that? He's on his phone.
Good times.
Get off there! Pay attention.
I think he knocked his tooth out. We're just kidding.
We're just kidding.
Although that would be great.
Yeah.
Nope. Well, buckle up, because you're going for a ride
Yeah.
filled with spoilers. We'll try not to spoil everything, though.
Yeah.
But we're not going to shy away from it, because there are some things, I mean, obviously, we don't want to spoil. Because we don't want to ruin all the fun.
Right.
But,
Well, what did you think?
man, I will say this. I think it was about a third into the movie, and I was thinking, like, I'm not sure if this is going to work.
Mm.
And then the movie said, don't worry about it. We got you.
Yeah, it really... And honestly, you said it was like, what, like just over like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
It did not. It felt longer than that.
It felt way longer.
Yeah.
In the best way possible.
Totally.
Because, yeah, I'm not going to shy away from it. I really love that movie.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
Usually we leave these and, you get that high of like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. And then it's like, sometimes it'll be later and we kind of change our minds a bit.
Yeah.
And can look at it a little more critical. I'm going to have repeat viewings of this for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. What did you like, Brennan?
What did I like? I really liked the body horror.
Yes.
Really on point. It didn't go too crazy hog wild with it. It did. I mean, for Evil Dead standards.
Yeah.
Definitely for Evil Dead standards.
It's kind of hard to...
It was...
It's really kind of hard to compare it, though, like, as far as just... It's Evil Dead. There's mutilations and...
It's great. It's over the top. It's what you'd want.
God. I don't know how they got away with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I thought, well, these kids have plot armor on them
Definitely.
because they're kids.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I will say this. Children are not safe in this movie.
No.
There is no child safety at all.
Which was great.
It was mind-blowing. Like, right away, there's a lot of peephole stuff.
Yeah.
And when they showed the one, like, armless kid get flung against the wall
Yeah.
through the peephole, I was like, okay,
wow,
we're all right here. This movie's probably going to take off. And it did.
Yeah. Also, I did like the cinematography in it. It wasn't, like, super, super crazy, but they definitely had really interesting shots in it. And they definitely played with things a lot, which I really appreciate because that's what Evil Dead should do. I love it. I love it for that reason. Because it does get experimental. It does have, like, weird shots, weird angles, weird lighting, weird composition.
Yeah. I mean, when I was talking about the first third, because I was worried, like, it's sort of feeling very, the standard possession type
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I was worried about, too.
And I was like, oh, boy, I don't know.
That's what I was worried about going into this, too.
Yeah. And it really does. The Deadites, like the possession is very Evil Dead.
Yes.
And they stuck with it. And, there's some good inside jokes and stuff for everybody.
Uh-huh.
If you catch them, and that's great.
Speaking of jokes, it was pretty funny, too. It did have its moments.
It did. And it felt appropriate.
Yeah.
When it would be funny.
Yeah.
And, and you're laughing at some of the twisted stuff, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's definitely some twisted stuff in it.
It did do a good job of staying intense and staying serious when it needed to as well. Like, none of the jokes were misplaced.
Right. And, because I was worried, too, with, like, kids being in it. I was like, kids,
Yeah.
I'm not going to like these kids.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, they grew on me over time.
Yeah, I liked all the kids. And I liked all the adults, too. I liked really all the characters.
Yeah, you know, it was nice to not see, like, the suburbs.
Yeah.
It really did, you know, I did feel that, you know, this family here and, you know, everybody that we're viewing in this family, like, they're not rolling in the dough. They
Nope.
don't have, like, a architect job.
It felt very real.
Yeah, they felt like real people.
It was amazing. Yeah, it's been not that often you get characters these days that feel genuine,
Yeah.
tangible like that.
You know, and it's not a slight against anybody, but they looked like normal people.
Yeah, totally.
Which was good, because sometimes when everybody's just a little too pretty,
Mm-hmm.
it takes me out of it.
Also, I love a good horror movie in an apartment complex.
Oh yeah,
Great. What a great setting. I mean, I can think of like Poltergeist 3, and there was that other movie. It was called like Room, something or other.
Wreck.
Wreck.
Yeah, that and Wreck 1 and 2, pretty much just inside an apartment building, and it's, you know, I mean, I'm sure that's somewhat intentional at this point, but yeah, I mean, there's other nods to other things in this, and it was just good. The acting was good.
It was.
Especially dealing with a younger child actor,
Uh-huh.
and that kid knocked it out of the park. I
Definitely,
think. I
yeah.
mean, that was really good kid acting, and oh man,
Lots of therapy.
yeah. Anybody who survived that, definitely some therapy. Good opening sequence. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to tie in, but
I liked how it tied in too.
yeah. And the opening sequence was pretty decent. I enjoyed that.
I did too. Yeah. It was nice to see some, cabin in the woods sort of
Yeah. And
setting.
I don't know if I still have it or not. That looks a lot like something I drew, like that A-frame cabin.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a weird thing about A-frame houses being spooky for a while.
They are spooky. Yeah.
But just how the hills were on each side. I know this is probably getting away too much from us talking about the movie, but I had to get it out.
Yeah. Speaking of drawing, the Book of the Dead looked pretty cool.
Oh, it looked really good. Yeah. You know, it felt like very kind of, they had to write their way to get it in there. You know, like,
Yeah.
it felt a little convoluted that way, but I ended up like, I was just like, whatever. And vinyl's back, man.
Yeah, I liked that too. That was cool.
That was really good and like creepy how they used
Very
the recording.
creepy. Very creepy.
Which I think that the 2013 one kind of missed. Like there wasn't a recording.
That is a miss.
They played it at the end during the credits, which I just was like, what?
That's lame.
Yeah, like put it in the movie, you
No
cowards.
kidding. No kidding.
Yeah, it's just had a really good visual style to it, and I enjoyed it. I mean, the blood was red. It wasn't that weird, like peanut buttery fake blood that they used in 2013.
Thick.
I mean, this stuff was red.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like blood. And good color palette was used in it.
Yes.
It
Yes.
wasn't just, everything just wasn't brown. That was nice.
The sets looked good too.
Yeah, it looked like a crappy building. A little, slightly unrealistic, but whatever. I guess maybe because it was a product of New Zealand and Ireland, which I did not see that coming.
Yeah, we didn't find that until the credits, right? That's where I
Right.
saw it.
Yeah, and I was like, what the heck?
Good on you, New Zealand.
And Ireland.
Yeah.
Who knew those little islands would just high-five each other?
Their silly little accents.
We love them, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, what else? God, I just don't want to spoil too much.
I
even though
know,
we said
yeah.
Spoilers, but there's just so many things where it's like, it's just a lot of fun, and the less you know, the better.
Mm-hmm. I did like too how they established that the dad is not in the picture anymore,
Yeah.
and I was really scared that he was going to either like be someone important or show up.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, he's gonna be like a priest or something, or oh, he's gonna do something, or oh, he's gonna come back possessed or something like that. No, just never came back.
Yeah. Everything pretty much isolated to that one floor, too.
Yeah.
Although, those kids could have saved that pizza.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah, dude. When they opened that up and it was like 3 slices flipped over.
Yeah. 3 pizzas that size? Man, those are like 16-inch pizzas. Easy. Save them.
You're getting attacked by a crazy otherworldly demon. You can grab a slice of za real quick.
You know what? That would actually be me. I'd be nervous and I'd just be eating a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
Just looking at it like, oh man, this is terrible.
Just be like
This pizza's really good.
greasy cheese pizza. Yeah, I'd be eating all that stress eating. So much stress eating.
You know, and a lot like 2013, the Book of the Dead really just kind of lets you in on what to expect.
I like
But
that.
a little like not as obvious, but like it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the setup of, hey, all these instruments are gonna come into play at some point in time.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that at all. I was like, ooh.
I liked it.
What are they gonna use this for? I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I remember I was trying to, because I had no sense of time throughout that movie because it moved at such a good pace. I was just keeping track of everything that they set up and everything that still needed payoffs.
Uh-huh.
And it kept on getting closer. I was like, oh, there's not that many payoffs left.
Yeah.
Oh, they're getting close. Yeah, no, it was exciting too.
It really was. I mean, it was. Other than the slow start, I think. I mean, even that, I think on a repeat viewing, I'm not gonna mind.
No, not at all.
Because it's the excitement of like, ooh, I know what's gonna happen next.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I just don't want to spoil everything. I know I keep saying that, so I gotta get us home. Which way do I gotta go?
Oh, not this way. This goes around the school.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's the elementary school.
Oh, man, a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
I just ended up in a part of the neighborhood I'm not overly familiar with. I usually just walk this area, but it's also dark.
And we're excited, talking about a good movie. It exceeded my expectations. Would you say that?
You know, I would say the same. I just wanted it to be pretty decent, and it ended up awesome. So where would you put it?
I was about to ask you that.
In all the movies, if you could put them in from your best to like whatever one you like
the least.
Yeah,
Right,
it doesn't
okay.
mean that they're bad.
I will say Evil Dead 2 is number 1. Duh. That's like someone saying Empire Strikes Back is their favorite Star Wars. It's
Sure.
like, yeah, we know. Evil Dead 2, then I'd say probably Evil Dead, and then Rise. No, what? Yeah, then Rise, then maybe Army of Darkness, and then 2013.
Okay. I would say 2, because duh.
Right.
The Evil Dead, the original. Then I would say Evil Dead Rise. Then I would say 2013, Evil Dead. And then Army of Darkness last.
Okay.
But as much as I beg on Army of Darkness, it's still watchable.
Right.
I just don't have the desire for it.
It is just the least favorite.
Yes. Don't ask me where the TV show fits in all this, because I view that as its own separate thing. In a weird way, it's almost its own little universe. And that's fine too. But I did like how we were, during the credits, how you were talking about the therapy sessions.
Yeah, there'd be a therapy session of all these people that survived these horrible demon attacks. And then you got Ash there, and he's like, well, then I got sent back in time, and, well, I was sent back to medieval times, and I became the hero of this kingdom, and everyone praised me and I lived on in legend, and then I got sent back to the present day. Like, everyone else is traumatized, dealing with horrible trauma, PTSD. They're never going to be the same again.
Yeah, he really just kind of owns it after a while. But, I mean, he does have his issues.
Yeah.
Which, a lot of that in the TV show. But, yeah, that's it. Go watch it if you haven't already.
Yeah, support this movie.
And Summer Slasher Camp coming up pretty soon. There's going to be an announcement in the Facebook group. So all the details will be in that. So wait for that to drop. And other than that, thanks to you, Dongles, and our fellow podcasters. Thank you for your support.
See ya.
Hang in there.
Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth!